Kristel on 30. Hello, hello. I am trusting you're all doing amazing on this Thursday morning. Coffee talk. 4 topics for you, plus a bonus at the end that I allow myself to just be, I would say unscripted, meaning not really research. It's just after all those shares, what am I going to talk about? And I allow myself to be in the moment and share. But I do have 4 topics: the Fed rates, debts. The other story is, a client who's closing next week and stepping stone. And then AI type quick talk on that, since NEXA is doing a NEXA Fest in Dallas. I'm not able to attend, but there are a lot of great talks they're going to be having regarding really being ahead of the market with all the technology that we have. So let's go first with a conversation we did have last week. Let me actually see if I can actually change the background on this one. No, I didn't mean to stop the recording, Kristel. Okay. This talk, the rates. Okay, so of course that's old news, right? We talked about that last week, but I did want to share. So the Fed cut rates by 0.25% about a week or so ago, but mortgages didn't move. I mean, there was movement, but not move the way that people were expecting. Why? Well, here's the truth. Mortgage rates don't follow the Fed rate directly. I mentioned that before. They follow the bond market. When the Fed announces cuts, the market has already priced it in. So that's why rates sometimes stay flat, or there's not that much of movement, sometimes even get worse on the day of the actual cut or following after. And rates for mortgages, we get them daily. Sometimes there are changes in the middle of the day. Sometimes the next day gets better, gets worse. So there is fluctuation. It's not just a flat. But like I mentioned, the Fed cut announcements have an impact already because we know what's expected. So people are expecting more cuts later this year, and that could mean that mortgage rates will also go down. But waiting for the perfect time can backfire. Now, let me go back again. I did say mortgage rates do not have a direct impact. I'm sorry, the Fed rates don't have a direct impact on mortgage rates, but there is the fact of knowing there are some changes, there are some inflation changes or job changes. All this is impacting, along with the direct impact of the bond market, or how the rates are going to be fluctuating. So all of those impacts, how do you really know when it's a time for you? So you want to be ready. So the perfect time can backfire waiting for that perfect time. So markets, again, are still unpredictable. Rates move based on what's said about inflation, like I said, the jobs, but not just the headline of the rate cut. So the opportunity is now. If the numbers make sense for you today, lock it in, because the only thing guaranteed is the payment you secure right now. So my question to you is, do you believe that the rates will go lower in 6 months from now? Do you have that crystal ball to know? If yes, you're an optimistic. If no, then you think that they'll probably hold you by just let's just remain optimistic. Let's just say that. It is such a hard conversation as a lender. I mean, it could be very direct conversation as a lender to say, well, the mortgage rates are going to do this. What's going to happen? People do constant. What's going to happen, Kristel? There's no way for us to truly know what's going to happen. It's been since 2022, we've been waiting for those changes. And then 2023. And now in 2025, we're still depending on so many aspects. So my really plea to you is, if you're a first-time buyer and your intention is to buy a house, make sure your credit is set. Make sure your savings are happening, even if you're going to get down payment assistance. Make sure your debt to income, you know what you're looking at, because the value of homes have definitely increased. So you still want to be able to qualify for whatever your average price homes in the area you're looking to purchase. So do the homework, be ready, so that when the opportunity is right there for you, like right now, go ahead and jump on it. Because not about just the mortgage rates, it's also the home that you're looking to purchase. So all of those are conversations to have with a lender like myself, getting you ready. I'm not going to pressure you and say you have to buy now, but I want you to be ready right now so that when you find the house and the rate and payment makes sense, you can go ahead and pull the trigger. So I'm super grateful for the clients who take actions during the windows that are opening, and instead of waiting for just the perfect time, because we don't really know what the perfect time. You know right now what aligns with you, your monthly payment, your budget, but readiness is the most important aspect. So that was my talk on Fed rates, because we wanted to address that again. I'm going to change my background part. I'm just going to go ahead and play with background adjustments here. We're going to go back to the hearts and love. I'm going to be honest. I'm not the one who's a fan of talking about rates because it fluctuates so much. And when people hear about the interest rates, they're like, "Oh, I'm in the contract. I know. Oh, I already locked my rate. Can you go ahead and give me a lower interest rate?" It is not that simple. It doesn't just happen like that. So, all right, let's take a little. What I'm most passionate about are topics such as how you can leverage situations, take the opportunities. So let me go into my story number 2. Credit card debts and equity equals opportunity. So Americans owe 1.2 trillion in credit card debt right now, the highest we've seen, I think, since 19. I'm not good with the numbers. So it's the highest that we've seen. But here's the flip side. We also have the more equity than ever. So that is a call for what they call the perfect storm. Credit cards debts are 25, 30%, even 35%, and people are drowning. But at the same time, homeowners are sitting on record level of equity. So that's leverage just waiting to be used. That equity is just waiting to be used. That leverage is just waiting to be used wisely. So for example, instead of carrying $20,000 in credit cards at a 29% interest rate, you can roll that cash into a cash out refinance. We still have the line of credits to HELOC. If you don't want to touch your first mortgage, we get to compare and see what makes more sense for you. And also qualification wise, I know some of my clients are holding on and saying, well, I don't want to touch that first mortgage. I'm going to have a plan to go ahead and pay that $20,000, $30,000 credit card balance because I want to keep that 3% interest rate. If you do your cash flow calculation, you will see that by still refinancing at a higher interest rate than you have on the first, will give you a better cash flow so you can unlock possibilities in the future. But if you don't want to touch that first, I still have amazing opportunities when it comes to HELOCs. I just had a client last week who funded on getting about $40,000 so he can go ahead and pay off some debts and some other projects he has for the house. I have another one right now who is, but that's not debt, so we're not going to use that example. Okay, so you want to go ahead and leverage your equity, and we can have the conversation which way is the best way for you, and improve your monthly cash flow. So you can go ahead and pay off that line of credit because the payment is lower than all those credit card payments together. So the point is simple. Debt is heavy. Equity is your power. So if you're a homeowner, you can use what you've already built to get ahead instead of staying stuck. Instead of staying stuck, go ahead. Let's have a conversation. No pressure. In 5 minutes, I can let you know, and this is literally in 5 minutes because I just plug in your home address, your basic information, and I can tell you what offers you have. I have a couple of opportunities for one. If one doesn't work, I have another one. If that one doesn't work, we can do a refinance. But really the key is being a conversation. Let's look at your cash flow. Let's see what we can do to help you get out of this heaviness with the debt. So my question to you is, would you use your home equity to help you wipe off the debts, or would you stay stuck? Let me know or DM me. So or actually just book a call with me. Let's go ahead and talk about your situation. Again, no pressure, information so that you know how to move forward. So I'm super grateful for the clients who've trusted me. I think Raul, when he purchased his house, it was in 2015, 16, and he calls me and he's funded last week, and he's now able to go ahead and improve his monthly cash flow. So that's my story number 2. Debts and equity equal opportunity. The other story I want to share. Yes, so NEXA has a NEXA Fest going on right now in Dallas. I'm starting, I think this weekend. And really the big story is a lot of talks they're going to have, but number one is AI. All the changes are happening with automation. So closings in 40, 50 days, well, I was doing more, 40 days is going to document assistance, but really 30 days or less. But people are really wanting less time to get to closing. So it's no longer acceptable for clients to stay on the market, under contract and closing in 30 days. Now, I'll tell you, with the market changes too, it's actually best that we close fast because we don't have time to see any changes and people to freak out and say, wait, I should have, it's just not locked yet. The shorter time frame, we get it done, we close, and you can move forward with your life. So Fannie Mae actually had a recent survey that showed about 75% of buyers say speed is on the top benefit in the mortgage process, and 71% said the ease of use is actually the important on the top list. Not for every client, because I do have some clients who they can definitely be like on Amazon Prime and instant apps and just get everything done very quickly. While other clients, it's like even signing online is very difficult. I'm talking about the ones who are really in the world of the Amazon Prime and then the quick, easy, I'm getting the information right away. So that looks like very quickly, it's already happening, it's already on the market. Instead of providing bank statements, we just go ahead and do what's called a PLAID verification. We get the report, we get all the information verified, instant information received. Like I had one client, even though she put only 5% down, the appraisal was not a full appraisal. It was really somebody getting the data, pictures, and then the appraisal was done very quickly as long as we had the value. It wasn't a full appraisal. So really the streamlining of the process. Verification of employment. I mean, we know all this is already happening, but clients want it even faster. So we're working on all these digital options and efficiency. I don't have that yet, but it's coming. I'm just letting you know, one of the reasons I came to NEXA is actually because the CEO and the team, the management team, is really in the forefront of what can make us competitive, but not with the hunger of, for me, I'm not feeling as the hunger to beat everybody, but it's really to be streamlined, to make everything simpler, not just for the client, but for us also loan officers. So that's why I love being here at NEXA. So if you're working with a lender and you don't just want a mortgage quote rate, then you're basically looking at different expectations of the ease, the simplicity, but also the relationship building with your loan officer. Would love to connect with you. So just let me know how I can best serve what's most important to you. If rates is the most important, we can definitely, with the 240 more lenders that I have access to and investors, we can go with the lowest interest rate. Sometimes though their process may not be the most efficient. So we get to compare and see what's more important to you, not what everybody else is saying. So I'm grateful for the clients who trust me in their process and come back over and over to help them in the closing on their home. I definitely have to have the coffee just to give me myself a moment to breathe and you to catch your breath also. Okay. I want to share a story. I've kind of broken down her story in the past lives because of a mobile home and things that I've shared. But Leslie is closing on her home on Monday this week. So it's $340,000 home with a monthly payment of about $2,672. Yes, very specific, $2,672. Taxes and insurance included. It's an FHA mortgage. And this is where it gets exciting. Leslie already owned a mobile home. She bought it less than 2 years ago. She's very aggressive, her and her husband, when they earn extra on their income, they go ahead and pay off their debt. So they're very diligent with debts. So she only owes $10,000 and first, it's going to be paid off because I need it to be paid off for her to qualify with her debt to income ratio. But it's also a clear choice of clearing this debt to help with the debt to income ratio, but also free a monthly cash flow. So she has a lease that she's going to be renting this mobile home, wait for it, for $2,100. $2,100. She has a tenant who's going to be paying that. No more monthly payment on the mobile home, but she does have, because mobile home very often, unless you own the land, she does have the land rent, which is $940, which means that she's still going to get more than $1,000 a month in cash flow. So that $1,000 can now be directly applied towards the mortgage payment of $2,600. So she's down now to a monthly payment of $1,600. And she's buying $340,000. The stepping stone of going into, you know what, this is what I can afford, this is what I can do right now is a mobile home. I'm saying that in the sense that a lot of times I get calls from clients who are first-time buyers say, I just want this perfect home. This is my forever home. People, this is a stepping stone home. Get your stepping stone. Step first, get that stone. Go ahead and get your equity. Go ahead and pay off the debt. Use it as mobile homes don't necessarily have as much equity, but when she pays it off, she now has still equity if she were to sell it, but she's going to rent it. Now she has a positive cash flow, applying that difference towards her monthly payment on the mortgage. So it is a type of real estate. It is a way for you to get your stepping stone. I do tell clients sometimes, you know, mobile homes are cheaper. I personally, 25 years, never financed. I've literally never financed a mobile home because it's never come on. It's come on my desk, but never really gone through full. So I don't really have the expertise in mobile home. I'll admit that. But I do know it's an opportunity for people to step into a house, even buy the land, get the mobile home and all this finance, and then eventually buy your next home if necessary, if this is your goal. I've also heard, have you ever heard of all those people who are buying land and putting mobile home? Yes, you have to be in the right zoning, but then $2,100 for rent for a mobile home, that's a pretty nice cash flow. Or buying land and receiving $900 from all those people who are renting the land to put their mobile home on. I mean, there are opportunities. Just in that one story of Leslie, I can pick out different ways that I can tell you how real estate is so powerful. And it's a matter of which one aligns with you. So the lesson really is for first, your first home doesn't have to be your forever home. Even a mobile home can turn into a rental that helps you fund your next move. So, a couple questions I could ask you, but it's the one I'm going to ask you. Would you be somebody who keeps your first home like I have? Suck if you don't. And I still own it from 1999. I still own it, still have a positive cash flow coming in, equity there, have refinance and cashed out and improved debts. Like it's been a jewel for me to have this first home. So my question, would you ever keep your first home as a rental when you move up? Comment yes or no below. And I truly honored to have clients come with those different scenarios because it's like a puzzle putting all this type of stories or challenges or opportunities because she didn't think Leslie should be able to buy. Okay, now not a story time per se, but I'm going to go ahead and have a sip of coffee, and this is the last part that I've been practicing. This is a practice, so thank you for being my audience in this practice. Because the first four stories are like things that I'm thinking about. What am I going to share with you? And now allowing myself to be in this present moment and allow yourself to be in this present moment. What comes up for you? What should Kristel talk about? What is being asked? So I have different topics coming to my mind right now, but I want to tune into my heart. What is the one message? What is the one thing? Okay, so the one thing that's coming up is sharing my journey with connecting with my heart. So some of you may know I'm an energy practitioner, which means that I easily feel energies. Meaning, you know, when you walk into a room, you're like, oh, this feels a certain way. That's connecting with the energy of the room. I also have the ability to place my hands on an object and get the feeling of whoever may have touched that object. Or I did this in my friend's house where she had paintings or different objects that were given to her, and I felt the energies of what that person who gave it to her felt. The word that comes up is I'm doing witchcraft, and I'm doing other things that in my islands people call is like I'm doing things that are not in alignment. I do everything in divine pure light. That's my perspective. Many people might say that. But my intention is to really connecting with the divine light. And my path is love. And everything actually stems from the intention. And my intention in sharing this is being able to open my voice, because I've started to say this year that I'm coming out of the closet, that closet of being an energy practitioner who doesn't really share that aspect of herself. And this is why I'm utilizing this last aspect of the life. So the energies that we feel on our palms, when a child comes to a parent and want to be soothed, like the energy, that's all energy, right? Just different way we experience it may not be placed as the energy. It's just a family touch. It's healing hands. I remember my stepdaughter one time said, I would really like to feel your hands, your touch. And even with a partner, a former partner, he could feel the energies emitted from my hands and my palms. So I have that ability. Many of you probably have that ability, not even aware of it. So I am very much also in my head. I do think a lot about things, which gets in the way, which is why sometimes even my shares right now may be more of the me speaking from the logic part so I can explain it to you versus just straight from the heart. So I'm going to tune in more and more into my heart. But there's a specific place after my divorce. I went in 2017, 2018, I went to South America. And my third country was Brazil. And I went to Florianopolis, which is an island of Brazil. And I was doing kite surfing. I was really in my element of just laughing at myself, not being able to do the kite surfing. And I literally felt a movement in this heart space of opening. And I was just feeling, not just, I was feeling, experiencing joyfulness. I was feeling, if you think of a moment where you're having joy, it's a bliss. It's just no explanation. It's just that feeling. And there are certain places, somebody asked me, well, can't you feel that everywhere? Yes, you can make yourself and be that vessel of experiencing that. And there are certain places and moments, and mostly when you're so energetically open to what's in the environment, like someone like myself, where other places can impact. So I've been working towards, or I've been doing my best to not allow energies to impact me so much. But I'm a human learning still how to go through all those skills and gifts that I have. So again, coming back to opening my heart in Florianopolis, it was an amazing feeling. I have felt very much that aspect of feeling home, not just the place, but being in that environment, Fort Lauderdale Beach specifically. Every time I'll go there, which I am excited because I will be going back next month for a few days, that feeling of just, I don't really need to do much. It's just being right there feels amazing. So again, that's that peace, that joy, that centeredness that I've experienced. And I recently went back to how would it feel to experience what I experienced in Florianopolis. They all have Flor. Florianopolis, Florida. Huh, I don't know. It was there. So being very much a person who thinks logic and thinks in my head, but also connecting with my heart, was going to the mountain of Mount Shasta. So when I left Arizona, where I stayed for 4 months in 2024, I then went to Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta is a very special place. The energies there are very potent it's a root chakra of the planet. So there was definitely a lot of centeredness there for me. And I just experienced bliss as well. It did not feel like a place that I would say I will call home or feel like this is where I will move to forever. but it definitely played in those 10 months such an impact of walking through the town, walking in the snow. You can go back to my videos. It's just like not driving. I did not have my car anymore. So just really walking in all the different elements of the seasons and smiling, feeling happy. And I'll be honest that I wasn't drawn to so much in community of exchange with too many other human beings because my intention was to connect with the divine, connect with my heart, connect with being happy and no expectations from others, just being inside my heart, which is what I called my website, Sacred Home of Kristel, because it's the skills, the journey that I've been as a lender of helping people get in their homes. But my journey is expanding to also being a person who, in her presence, experiencing peace, possibilities, and bringing back to home, which is the centeredness and the love from within. So my journey has been humbling, painful, felt all type of emotions, betrayal, abandonment. But I've reflected back that it was me abandoning myself in the times where I knew this was initially my best path, but I wanted to either please or not be too much or not think too much, not being such into my intuition. So misalignment, like a lot of misalignment. And I feel my best, of course, when I'm in pure alignment. And pure alignment is when I feel joy, which I'm still discovering what that feels like, because I define joy in my head as like, oh, I'm laughing, I'm joyful. And joy is, and when I think of peace, is quiet. But peace doesn't just have to be quiet. Peace is really like no matter what happens, a loan works out, a loan doesn't work out, a client calls, a client doesn't call. I'm still at peace that this is a journey. This is the present moment. And when the journey doesn't feel so smooth, it's because there's a beautiful breakthrough. It's like the breakdown before the breakthrough, where I get to ask divine light to creation, God, source, the word that aligns most for you. And I currently still interchangeably use different words because to me, it's that spark in me that's connected to the highest infinite intelligence. And I'm not attached so much to all the words right now, except when they don't align, definitely. But the light of creation, which in the moment of going through something, which I have been going through a lot, being here with family, being back in my roots. I had not lived on this beautiful island of where I'm originally from for 5 months since I left when I was 17 years old to go to America. So it has been right here in my face of different emotions. And I knew it's going to be because I was unable to get small bits and pieces before. But my intention was to heal all of this. And healing in the sense of accepting where others are, where I am, and loving. Like I would say, even in the last 48 hours, a shift that I've experienced is compassion. Because as we expand, others may not expand as much or may not expand. And having compassion because I was in that consciousness before, because I came into that life. So it's been a beautiful journey of me going through my heart and experience and pain and joy, but really still experiencing so much peace and knowing that I am moving in the direction that I feel the most guided to go, even knowing that the vessel, I had an image that just came through, which is why I had that side, because there's so much going on right now. I don't talk about politics, but guys, my meditation, I'm just going to step into that right now. My meditation this morning, as I was releasing blocks, as I was allowing myself to allow the light and receiving the light of creation, the light of divine pure love to come inside of me and just like really release, like imagine in my head, I'm very much a visual, all those energies to leave me, all of those blocks, the limited beliefs. Like if I were to just go like in regular terms, like the blocks, the pain, the sadness, and all of those to leave my body and really for me to experience pure light. The images of Gaza actually came through. I am not for parties, so you can attack or do what you want on the comments, it's fine. But it's more in the aspect of people who are in starvation and people who are getting the courage to leave their comfort to bring aids. And as I was allowing myself to liberate my own limited beliefs, my own stuff, my connection or my mind went also all the way to that part of the world and asking for liberation, freedom for all humans, not just in the limited beliefs, but in their physical. So mine is like in my limited, my beliefs, in my thoughts. But I have a lot of other physical liberations and freedom, and for others to experience that as well. So in my meditation, my brain went to that, which is to me that unity consciousness. Even though I'm healing this aspect of me, in healing that, meaning I'm going from my heart and expanding the energy and the radiation of the rays of love, for that to expand all the way to other parts of the world that I have never visited, only seen on, on the computer. And I invite all of us who are open to sending love and light, for those who have the courage, those who are going through it. And that's what I'm calling that, opening my heart, because it wasn't just about me. It was also the unity as humans, that soul that's healing other souls, even if it seems a little bit different, because I have the physical freedom, but there are other freedoms and liberations that I may not experience. And it's clearing it, dismantling, transmuting it to the light so that others can experience it also at whatever level of consciousness they are, whatever they're experiencing. Definitely, I'm not scripted for this. So that's my message right now about love. I wonder if, because I would love for my family to even know what I'm saying. So let me try. Let me try something. I don't know if this is going to translate what I'm saying, because I'd use a show caption to see if it does in French. But anyways, so this has been my journey of connecting with my heart, which is why Sacred Home with Kristel. If anything that I said with you resonates or even doesn't, feel free to message, because in your shares, there's a part of me that probably still needs to hear, whether you align or don't align. And I welcome your messages. Be careful what you ask for stuff. Because this is a journey that I'm walking on that bridge. I have been bridging it, meaning the energy of my spirituality, my connection with my soul, my connection with my higher self. All those terms and words that some people will totally get, and others are like, what the heck is she talking about? And it's okay, because that's called Bridget. This is me connecting from where I am right now in Les Saintes, Guadeloupe, this little bitty island that is a place of paradise for me, and to your home. And my only intention is to share love. And love is defined in so many ways, but it's pure love. Am I there? No. Am I aiming and going to my target? Yes. And I think one last thing I want to share is, since this started with a business talk, a lot of times people think, well, business is different than the spirituality. It's almost like they leave their spirituality, the connection with the divine, as an, I won't say Sunday thing or your Sabbath day, but a moment of the meditation and prayer. I invite you, as I invite God into the loans that I help with, the loans that I close, the walk that I go on, invite. Invite the divine presence and the spark in you to expand. And as you reach to others to talk, to shake their hand, may that spark ignite their spark so that we can all become that unity of spark. To believe I'm complete with this. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, day.